very, very important, folks. We have just under 400 acres of studio to cover, and I'm sitting backwards. I can't help you. We're actually going to drive by sets where there's active filming going on, specifically the television show Home and Family. And they don't want to hear my lovely voice on the soundtrack. So drive by that set. If I see any signs of active filming, I'm going to hop off the mic and I'm going to throw this up on your screens just so you know what's going on, okay? One more person I need to introduce you to, it's my co-host. You might recognize him from such shows as Saturday Night Live or The Tonight Show, Mr. Jimmy Fallon.
Welcome to the Universal Student Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon.
He's on that side, so you can get so
You got the very best guy.
Danny.
And the greatest.
Yeah, he's my
James.
They're the best. I
Oh,
love it.
so sweet.
Even though
Danny.
owes me $5.
Well, that was rude.
I know you guys are excited to get on the tour. A few safety rules.
All right, I do have a few safety rules that I must go over with you before we get too far into this, and here they are. First, if you need guest assistance or have a medical emergency, or if you drop something of value off the side of the tram or have any sound or video issues, reach up and grab the red cord that runs along the center of the ceiling of the tram, and I'll be back to assist you as soon as it's safe to do so. Looks like this. Otherwise, during the entire tour, please stay seated. Keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. Remember to use the right cord above your head if you need any assistance. The studio is private property. At any time during the tour, you drop your phone or can't wait to use the restroom, pull the cord, remain seated. Please no smoking of any kind during the tour. And be prepared. Our tour today features loud noises, sudden tree movements, fire effects, and many water effects. They have the cameras off great photo opportunities. We keep an eye on them so they don't get wet. Finally, for your safety and those around you, please do not use selfie sticks while on board the tram. Alright, after that, let's have some fun, shall we? So we are currently traveling down our timeline. If you look on either side of you, you're going to see movie posters. They represent just a handful of the over 8,000 movies we've made over the years. How many years? Well, great question. Our founder, Carl Lemley, he opened up the doors right here, March 15th, 1915. He had this insane idea to create an entire city dedicated to filmmaking. And that's exactly what he did. We are a universal city. We have our own zip code, we have a fire station that we just passed, we have a sheriff's station, we have a hospital. What we have in our city, you might not have in yours, is the ability to make some of your favorite movies and television shows. And I'm going to let you in on a few tricks of the trade. The first is the use of sound stages. This is where the majority of filming takes place. And the first sound stage I'm going to point out to you is coming up on your left-hand side, Sound Stage 12. It's home to the hit NBC singing competition, The Voice. And since I have a little bit of pull here at Universal Studios, here's Carson Daly to tell you more.
Hi everybody, I'm Carson Daly from NBC's The Voice. I want to welcome you to the Universal Front Lot. Our show is filmed on Stage 12. It happens to be the largest sound stage on the Universal lot. Take a look.
It's the largest sound stage on our lot, third largest in the entire world. Here are a few more productions that are filmed inside the Sound Stage 12. So as I said, the majority of filming takes place inside of these sound stages. That means sometimes we have to recreate the outdoors indoors. So on your screens, what looks like an awesome outdoor pool party is entirely created right there inside of Sound Stage 12. So this is what all of our sound stages look like when you first start off. They're basically giant soundproof warehouses. Walls 4 times thicker than the walls of a normal building. That's what makes them 98% soundproof. But that 2% can still ruin production. So I'm constantly checking for signs of active filming, specifically those red lights. Those are what we call wigwag lights. When they're blinking and flashing or glowing bright red, that means they're filming inside, and that's when my cue is to be quiet. As you drive by sound stations 16, 17, look over on your left, you might see a huge door wide open. You may get a peek of what looks like inside of there. They start off looking like this, completely empty, so that filmmakers can create anything they want. And the same sound stage is used over and over again for different productions. The production that's currently inside of sound stage 16 and 17 is Superstore, starring America Ferrera, Ben Feldman, and Mark McKinney. In fact, we are driving through base camp for the show Superstore. So they've taken over this section of our front lot. This is where they have the majority of their production trucks, their production tents, This is where crew members get to park their cars. This is also where the actors have their trailers. The trailers are parked in front of Soundstage 21 because Superstore uses that soundstage for filming as well. Soundstage 21 is where Steven Spielberg tested out his sharp movie Jaws, and it's where they built the Mission Control Room for the movie Apollo 13.
Realism was an essential element of Apollo 13. After all, we were recreating an important moment in American history, a moment many Americans witnessed tonight. We thought about filming in Houston, Texas, where the original control room for the Apollo missions still exists. Unfortunately, NASA's engineers didn't have filmmaking in mind when they built Mission Control. Since there was no room for the elaborate camera cranes and tracks they needed for the shot, we had to build our
I'm
own
trying to get
mission
close to the mic.
Everything had to be exact, completely down to the tiniest detail.
Right now we're driving by an area we call Sitcom Row. Ever since the 60s, your favorite sitcoms are filmed inside the sound stages on your right, like The Jeffersons, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Martin. We know productions are constantly filming over here, like The Good Place, starring Ted Danson and Kristen Bell, Good Girls, starring Mae Whitman, Christina Hendricks, and Greta, and Hollywood Game Night with host Jake Lynch. If you're gonna have your first celebrity sighting coming up on your left-hand side, it's Ted. Do a little day drinking, yeah, because he can, so don't judge us. Then one of our bungalows. These are all offices to some of the top writers, directors, and production companies in the biz. But before these were offices, they were dressing rooms to huge stars like Lucille Ball and Elizabeth Taylor, Rock Hudson and Jimmy Stewart. It's the golden age of Hollywood, the 30s, 40s, and 50s. Actors were contracted to work with one studio at a time. Those contracts would last for years. So it was also whether they feel like they had a home away from home. That's exactly what these bungalows did. They still see some pretty big names, and if you look at the parking spots, you might recognize a few of them, like Jennifer Lopez, who's Jenny from the block. She has a bungalow here because she produces the show World of Dance. Mark Flatt has a bungalow here. He produced La La Land and Wicked. And in a moment, we're going to pass by bungalow 5195. It's currently home to the Dina Rentis Club. They follow the story of Dr. Hannibal Lecter to the big and small screens. But before then, it was Alfred Hitchcock's office, back when he filmed Alfred Hitchcock Presents here on the lot. As you drive by, you'll see his silhouette on the wall in tribute.
My name is Alfred Hitchcock.
Right now we're passing by two brand new high-tech sound stages. Inside the first sound stage, they filmed one of my favorite shows of all time, Will and Grace. That's where the magic happens, folks. The first production ever filmed inside of these sound stages, however, was Hairspray Live. Now what's cool about that setup is they're able to film all of their interior scenes inside of these sound stages. Then when they need to dance around the city streets of Baltimore, they just cross the border from the front lot to the back lot, which is what we're doing right now. So the back lot is where we have all of our large exterior sets, which are outdoor scenes here on a large scale. Oh, it looks like the doors to the sound stage is wide open, so as you drive by, look over on your left. But speaking of the buildings on your right, these are all what we call facades and shells. Front, sides, tops. You know what the camera can see, your imagination fills in the rest. Here's an example of how we use these facades and shells. It was filmed on your right-hand side in Brownstone Street.
Inside bad, outside good. Inside bad, outside good. Oh, you're done now. Great. B-E-A-U.
Sorry.
So when Jim Carrey was inside of his apartment, he was actually inside of a soundstage. And then when they needed him to run outside the dog, they filmed at Brownstone Street. Once you edit everything together, it looks like it all happened in one location. The Brownstone Street is one of the most filmed areas of the back lot. But we're rolling into one of the most recognizable. We call it Courthouse Square. You might recognize it from the first episode of The Twilight Zone, maybe a few Key and Peele sketches. People usually recognize this as Hill Valley from Back to the Future.
Nothing's
And
in
there's
there.
producer Bob Gill to tell you a little bit more about filming on this iconic set.
It was actually the back lot of Courthouse Square that inspired the entire climax of Back to the Future.
I had scenes up on the clock tower on that lead. There was a lead about that wide. And I was standing inside looking at the lead, and I only had vertigo. I I just thought there's no way in the world, no way I'm going to stand on that. I was up there for quite a while. Of course, I had a cable.
So let's a little different than it did in Back to the Future, right? There's a reason for that. When the show Ghost Whisperer starring Jennifer Love Hewitt filmed here, they turned it into the center of the town of Grandview. But they didn't want people to watch the show and think to themselves, does the Ghost Whisperer live in the valley? What's the deal with that? So they took out the clock, they changed the facade. Now people film there all the time because it looks like any suburban neighborhood in America. It's just like most suburbs is located right next to the big city.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York. I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood.
Yeah, it's actually a prison. Right next to us.
Tough lady. Just my favorite hot dog guy. Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me?
And I have lots of
Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. I'm walking here! Hey, it's cool guys. I was just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
So if you look over on your left-hand side, you're going to see a huge mural being done. There's actually a guy there. He's painting right now. That's probably Tristan Eden. So this is a mural done by the famous street artist Tristan Eden. He's a local from LA, but he's been commissioned all over the world. He's done work for Versace, Nike, President Barack Obama, and now he's doing a mural for us. He's painting some of our classic monsters in the monster movies that really put us on the map. So we're really excited to see the finished project. As we turn the corner, we entered another area of our back lot. We call this London Square. Square to like modern day London, and you might recognize it from television shows like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as well as Agent Carter. Has its own parliamentary building, has a non-denominational church, but to me the most interesting thing about this area is the mural over on your left-hand side. It don't look like much, but if you take a picture of it, the picture comes out really well. That's because the camera only has one eye, but you have two, so it's a lot easier to fool the camera. Also, it was painted with a technique called trompe-l'oeil, that's French for fool the eye. It has a lot of highlights, and it has a lot of lowlights, which really helps to create the illusion. Some of the other side of the street is painted into the windows. Some of those doors are painted on, others actually open. So if we're filming a scene out here, we can hire background actors to walk in and out the doors that open, and then it looks like people actually live in these apartment buildings. That's how we're able to create atmosphere and really bring this area to life. Filmmakers like to use our backlot sets for many reasons. One is you can do things here you can't do in a normal city street, like build an entire obstacle course and film the last few seasons of American Ninja Warrior, or have Shia LaBeouf run up or down that street with an all-spark in his hand in the movie Transformers. We also like it because it's realistic. Steven Spielberg designed our Metro sets. We worked with another director named Peter Jackson, created a different area of our backlot, Skull Island.
It's the original poem.
This video is gonna be I don't know if you heard me.
I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up in adventure. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from, prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island. It was great to have you along for the ride. Now we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, but just have them in your hand because we're about to return to Skull Island. We really put a lot of thought into the character of this personality, and he's so much more than a monster. In fact, he's not a monster, he is an incredibly majestic, ancient creature. He's a force of nature. He's old,
just coming right
he's
up on the
wise,
studio
he's proud, he's fierce, and obviously he has a heart. The most important feature of Kong are his eyes. Kong's eyes are wonderfully expressive. They're full of emotion. His eyes are like an element of his personality and his life. He's had an enormous number of encounters with his clothes, the T-Rexes and the various dinosaurs in Skull Island. So he's been beaten up, scarred, chewed up, spat out by these dinosaurs at various times, and he wears the scars of a lot of ancient battles. The Universal Tram is winding its way through a very rough, narrow trail in Skull Island, allowing the visitors a little sneak peek at some of the wildlife at Skull Island. In a sense, this is like a mini sequel, a mini continuation. We are just taking the Kong and Skull Island and the dinosaurs that we established in our feature film, and this is another day, another incident on Skull Island, using the creatures and the character and personality of Kong as he appeared in the movie.
Now, those of you who are veterans of the studio tour, you might remember the classic King Kong experience. It was a mechanical, huge ape that would bang his chest and breathe banana breath all over everybody. Well, we changed that up in 2010 and we utilized CGI, computer-generated imagery, something that's used in the film industry a lot nowadays. We were able to
Starting to
create
go because
a
the time is
3D
done.
experience unlike any other. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hold on to your belongings as well as your loved ones, and welcome to Skull Island.
Billboard there. I'm really sorry you can't see anything. I'm gonna try to put on the 3D glasses for you guys. Oh wait, it's in my bag.
Okay, welcome everybody. Skull Island.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for King Kong 363D.
I think that was supposed to be blood. I'm surviving. Not real surviving. Dinosaur surviving.
Hey folks, so it sounds like the volume for all the clips keeps kind of going in and out. So I'm going to restart the audio visual equipment and start it back up, but we're going to keep it moving in the process, okay? Just so we all know what's going on. Stay tuned.
Okay. That was scary at the same time. Yeah. That's tiny. Time got wet.
So you can hear me, and there we go, the visual. So hopefully that'll take care of that. So that was King Kong 360 3D, some of the largest digital 3D screens in the entire world. Oh, by the way, hold on to those 3D
That was
glasses.
scary.
I have a feeling you might need them later on in the tour. Now, that was a great example of creating an entire world using only CGI. As I explained earlier, that stands for computer-generated imagery. It means like visual effects using computers. But usually what filmmakers will do is combine CGI with something physical, like a picture card. A picture card is any vehicle you see on screen, whether it's television or film. And that's what we're going to take you to see right now. Some of Universal's most popular picture cards ever. So this is a good time to pull out those cameras and phones. We have some cool cars coming up on your left-hand side.
They might actually be. Whoa, that's a bullet farm. These are weird. The Flintstones! The Flintstones!
Our most popular picture card now is probably the gyrosphere that was used in Jurassic World and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. As you drove by, you might have noticed something was missing. The glass ball, right? That's because the glass ball never existed. Because the glass is tricky to film with. If it's not angled perfectly, everything in the background is reflected off of it and shows up on camera. So instead of trying to figure out how to angle a glass ball, they said forget it. We'll use CGI to create the final product, and that's what you saw in theaters. But we're moving on from Fast and Furious cars. We're going to head over to see some ferocious animals.
To Jurassic Park.
Oh god, more
On either side
dinosaurs.
of you are set decorations and picture cars. They're used in Jurassic Park and the Lost World Jurassic Park. On your left, you'll see the mobile lab used in the Lost World. This picture car is made out of wood. And on your right are the dinosaurs. Alright, it's fine. I'll play the theme music. Sometimes I like to make an entrance, you know, there's such genius in that way. There's not much you can do about it, you know what I mean? Not seeing them.
This was all used in the movie.
Oh, well, there's the big one. Still looking for the babies. I don't know, what are you gonna do? Sorry about that, folks. I guess they're out around here somewhere. How about
Don't
this?
you dare.
How about I show you a scene that needs that overlapping pass? And I can explain to you how it was done.
Oh, that's nasty. You know it's not real. T-Rex. Wait, no, that's Dinosaurus.
So first off, this is not a cliff in Costa Rica. This is a parking structure we passed by during the beginning of the tour. It's called the Carl Laemmle Building. In order to make it look like a cliff, of course they used CGI, but during filming they added a little bit of fake greenery, and they also took a crane, picked up that mobile lab we passed, and dangled it over the side of the building.
Oh, we're going to Jaws now. It's really bumpy.
Now the cherry on top is that we made it rain. Just about every time the dinosaurs attacked, it rained. But that was done on purpose because weather affects us emotionally. So, but one more thing that we have to control when we're filming. So we brought you into Old Mexico so we can show you how to create a little Hollywood storm.
What is this? More dinosaurs. Oh, geez. I know. It's just like...
Real water, yeah, but not real rain.
Oh, those are those lights are for the thunder. Yeah. I just realized that. Really? Yeah. I'm so cold right now, guys. Oh, God. Oh, shoot. No. It's not going to hit us, right? Oh!
water elevators at the top of the hill. All you do is open up the floodgates, the water
Probably
rushes
reusing the
down,
water.
lashes up in your
Obviously.
face, goes right back up again. The same flood is featured in the movie Big Fat Liar.
Big fat liar.
You can't outrun the wolf, kid!
Yeah, we'll see about that. And just like that, we crossed the border from Old Mexico to the Wild Wild West. So also means our tour is now approximately at the halfway mark. So I do
There might be
need to
some
remind
serious
everybody,
injuries
you may see it at all times. The studio's private property, so if you drop your phone,
Mama, you gonna supervise me?
pull the red emergency cord and I will come back to assist you. Welcome to 6 Points, Texas, y'all. It's where a lot of classic westerns have filmed, and your favorite cowboys have worked. Cowboys like John Wayne, Clint Eastwood, Jimmy Stewart, and Jimmy Fallon.
Mama, you can supervise me. She says injuries. Yeah.
This town ain't big enough for the both of us, Jimmy Fallon.
Well, I ain't going anywhere, Jimmy Fallon.
Now look here. Nice folks in this tram don't want no trouble. They just want to check out 6 Points, one of the oldest sets on the Universal lot.
I hear this is where John Wayne and Jimmy Stewart shot a few of their westerns.
That's right. That's where I aim to shoot.
Looks like we got ourselves a Mexican standoff. Lucky shot.
Now what say you mount up and get out of town while the getting's good?
All right. Well, I'll see you again, fella.
Oh, you can count on me, fella. Now get.
This is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Oh, Jimmy.
iPad's gonna die soon, so.
So westerns, they're not as popular as they used to be, but that's okay. This area still sees a good amount of filming. That's because it's great for shooting period pieces. For example, the movie Sammy Mr. Banks turned 6 Points, Texas into turn of the century Australia. And a few of the final scenes from The Color Purple filmed here when Celie had her pan shot. We're going to leave Texas behind. We're going to head to an area we call Little Europe. Little Europe is where all of those classic monster movies I told you about before actually filmed. It's also been used as a European substitute for many of our movies and television shows. It was Germany and All Quiet on the Western Front, Spain and City Slickers, Paris and the Muppets. This is where Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy had a conversation about the status of their relationship. Right now it's being used for the television show The Good Place. Earlier I pointed out the sound stages where they film their interior scenes, but whenever they're outdoors in The Good Place, this is where they're filming. Now it's located right next to the set of Home and Family, so I'm going to have to hop off the mic, but in the meantime, I'll show you a little bit of what The Good Place is about.
What's happening?
Mama! Mama, I see something cool! Mama! Mama, I see something cool! Look right there! Look, it's like, it's a blue fire.
A blue fire? Where?
Where? It's like a river blue, but it's like so red. Like, in the corner right there. And I'm looking at. You see it?
Oh yeah, I see it. The blue fire hydrant. Over there, there's a blue fire. Oh, I thought you meant a blue fire hydrant. Oh.
See, the angel was a bit blue is white. I don't remember.
We're going somewhere. Have your 3D glasses on. It said scary on the 3D. So I don't like scary. He doesn't like scary rides
Right,
at
so
all.
we've just entered Soundstage 50. Again, I'm going to remind everybody to stay seated, especially while we're inside of here. This is what we call a hot set. It's dressed and ready to be filmed on. We don't want to create any continuity errors, so when they return, how cold is going to return here tomorrow. They can look at a television series.
I hate this so much. I hate this so much.
That's built into the wall. Turn off the mechanical
Fire, 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 fire! It's so hot in here. It's warm out here. It's warm. My brother's scared right now. He's crying.
Everyone just hold it together.
Oh my god.
It's over. Oh, not the water main.
That was scary. Daddy, we didn't get wet, right? We did. Yeah.
James, how you doing, buddy? You good? He's good. Okay. Let's get myself together.
We didn't get wet. That's a good thing.
Congratulations, folks. You just survived Earthquake the Big One. Yay. Yeah. That's what we call a mechanical effect. And it was featured in the Fox show Bones, starring Emily Deschanel and David Boreanaz.
Ooh, that's...
Right now we're driving by Amity Island. This is not Amity Island from the movie Jaws, but it's created to look pretty similar to that town. Amity Island in the movie Jaws is actually filmed all the way on the East Coast in Martha's Vineyard. But another production did film here. I'm guessing by looking at that little cabin area. Murder, She Wrote. That was Cabin Cove. She Wrote also used the backyard of the Chicken Ranch, which is over here on your right-hand side. The Chicken Ranch was first created for the musical The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, starring Burt Reynolds, R.I.P., and Dolly Parton.
Hey, that's a show! Goosebumps.
The Dolly Parton's a bit of a diva, but she has a
I hate
competition on the
Goosebumps.
block. So you're now entering a street that is known for housing divas. Okay, maybe they're just desperate
Just don't
housewives.
point in the movie.
Well, it's a Colonial Street.
actual
You might recognize
story.
this as Syria Lane.
It's not a
Maybe
good
it's
story.
Desperate Housewives. We're going to show you around the neighborhood a bit, starting on your left-hand side. So the Beige House, that's home of Gabrielle Solis and Lady Victoria. The Lilac House was the home of Bob and Lee, but before that it was 1313 Mockingbird Lane, the home of the Monsters. The Yellow and Stone House was the home of Susan Delfino, played by Terry Hasher. In the 70s, the Hardy Boys lived there. On your right, you see a Bluish Brick House. That was the home of Anna Camp, played by Marsha Cross, the perfect housewife. And back on your left is the home of Lynette Scavo, played by Emmy Award-winning Felicity Huffman. Not until season 1, that's where all the houses ended. But between seasons 1 and 2, they realized they had these huge show in their hands. So they wanted to add more housewives. Well, they should have to have more houses, right? So they built a house at the end of the cul-de-sac. That was the home of realtor Edie Britt, played by Nicolette Sheraton, and then Renee Perry, who was played by Vanessa Williams. So the house at the end of the cul-de-sac, that's been most recently renovated. That's because they've been filming a new show there called The Abbeys. There's a lot of buzz about it. We're calling it The Next Cheers. So we're excited for that to the airwaves. I think they use that house instead of others because that's the only one that's practical set. That means you can film inside of it and outside of it. The rest of these are just shells, fronts, sides, and tops. One room for the actor to walk into, and after that you're going straight through to the backyard. So whenever the housewives are inside of their homes, they're actually inside of those sound stations in the past. And then when they needed to walk around the neighborhood, you bring them up here, just film the rest of the episode. As I explained before, you edit it together, looks like it all happened in one location. And that is how the majority of filming is done. So now that we showed you around the neighborhood, check out what Wisteria Lane looks like on television.
If there is one thing everyone in suburbia can achieve, it's a good neighborhood.
You can skip through half of them and just go to the courthouse.
Colonial Street is a very popular area to film. Movies filmed there like The Burbs, Casper Friendly Ghosts, countless commercials and television shows. They like it for the same reason they like Courthouse Square, just like any suburban neighborhood in America, and that comes in very handy. We also have back sets here that come in handy that you wouldn't expect. For example, the trees we're driving by right now. They don't look like much, but you've seen them recently in the Netflix hit Bird Box. We're going to move on from what could be somewhat of a creepy area and head to one full of magic. My favorite section of the back lot, Whoville.
We're going to
Coming up on your
Whoville.
right are three of the houses from How the Grinch Stole Christmas, directed by Ron Howard.
You're a bad banana with a greasy black beard.
The citizens of Whoville, they are very poor decision makers. First they moved in next door to the Grinch, and now a psycho. They decided to move next door to the Bates Motel and Psycho House from Alfred Hitchcock's classic thriller Psycho. Who does that? Now as we